Okay, we are on to lesson 8. So we are learning about square roots and cube roots. We're going to start with square roots. Now, what is a square root? Well, this is a special number that, when multiplied by itself, gives us a perfect square. So if we have 4 times 4, those are the same number, same sign, same number, this equals 16. Okay? If a square root of a number is one of its two equal factors, that means that 16 is our perfect square. And 4 is our square root. Now you hopefully remember me rewriting 4 times 4 as 4 squared. So this is where they get the name square root from. So 4 squared gives us 16. That means 16 is our perfect square and 4 is our square root. Okay, another example for that would be 5 times 5. 5 times 5 gives us 25. So 25 is our perfect square because those two factors are matching, and 5 is our square root. Okay, so every positive number has both a positive and a negative square root. This is our new information we're learning. Every positive number has both a positive and negative square root. In most real-world situations, only the positive or principal square root is considered. This is going to be important for an example below. Our radical sign is used to indicate the principal square root. So what does this tell us? We know that we can get the 25 by multiplying -5 times -5. We also know that we can multiply 5 times 5 and get 25. So a negative times a negative is a positive, and a positive times a positive is a positive. Our radical sign right here just asks for our positive answer. So let's go down to number 1. What times what equals 64? Now many of you may be shouting out the answer, but I'm going to show you how to press the calculator. We're going to press the second button. Then we are going to press the x squared button, or if you know that the second is light blue, so it does the light blue job. So where this x squared button is, right above is a light blue radical sign. So we want to press second in this x squared button. And then we get a radical symbol. Second x squared. Easy enough. So I'm going to add in a blue button that shows the radical symbol. Once we do that, we need to close our parentheses. So I have my radical symbol. I'm going to type in 64, close the parentheses, and our answer is 8. Okay. So for number 2, what's different from 2 to 1? You can look at that right away and say it's that plus and minus symbol. That's the problem telling you that you need to have a negative answer and a positive answer. How are we going to find that? Same steps. Second, that radical symbol, 1.21, close the parentheses. This equals 1.1, and then our other option is negative 1.1. For number 3, we're going to type in that negative symbol first. Okay, this question is asking for the negative answer. I'm going to type in negative. Second x squared, 25 divided by 36, close parentheses, and we get negative 0.83 repeating. Alright, so here is a fact that we need to learn for number 4. Okay, whenever you have a negative number, so if you have negative 2, you have to multiply a positive number and a negative number. So you would have to multiply 2 times 1 to get negative 2. Oh, sorry. Negative 2 times 1 to get negative 2. Or negative 1 times 2 to get a negative 2. So when we're looking at 4, square root is the same number and same sign. So there's no possible way that we can take the same positive number times the same positive number and get negative 16. Okay, so now you guys are going to practice. Remember, for your calculator skills, you are going to press the second button, the x squared, or if you recognize the blue above, the radical symbol. You're going to type in your number and then you're going to close the parentheses. For A, you're going to type in radical 9 divided by 16. Okay? And then for B, you're going to remember those two signs. D, you should call back to that special fact we just learned. And then you should be all right. So for number 5, we're going to solve t squared equals 169. So we know that anything squared will give us a perfect square as long as it is the same number. So how do we figure that out? We're going to take t squared equals 169 and we're going to use the inverse operation. So our inverse operation is to take the square root. We're going to take that radical sign to both sides. We're going to be left with t equals second x squared 169, and we get t equals 13. So all we're doing to that is we're just taking the radical of 169 to get 13. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a cube root. Our square roots are the same number multiplied twice. Our cube root is the same number multiplied 3 times. So we have examples. Numbers such as 8, 27, and 64 are perfect cubes. So that means that for the number 8, 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. So 2 is our cube root. For 27, that is a perfect cube because 3 times 3 times 3 is the cube root. So for 64, 4 times 4 times 4 lets us know that 4 is the cube root. Okay, so for number 6, we have some new calculator methods that we have to remember. So the button that we pressed previously, that took the square root, okay? What we need is the cube root, and that's how we write it. So what you have to do first is you have to type in your number, which is 3. So we're going to type in the number 3. Then we're going to press second, and then we're going to press our caret symbol. Okay, the blue symbol above the caret sign is an X with the radical sign. So we're pressing second, caret, and then we're just typing in our number, 125. And our answer is 5. Okay, so here is a new lesson to learn. You can take the cube of a negative number. You can take the cube of a negative number. Okay, so we are going to type that directly into our calculator. Second, 3, second, caret button, negative 27 equals negative 3. Okay, you guys do H and I. We're going to move on to our last question. Dylan has a planter in the shape of a cube. We love our cube questions. It holds 8 cubic feet of potting oil. Solve the equation. 8 equals S cubed to find the side length S of the container. So this is just like how we did with our equation for square roots. We have to take the cube root of both sides. So we're going to press 3, second, caret, 8 equals, and the length of our side is 2. And that's all there is to it. Alright, in class we're going to discuss this, have a little fun activity, so be sure to come with your questions. If you have any questions, just go ahead and write them below. Write on your paper. Alright, have a good night.